we're going to get right into it. Good morning, everybody. Um, my name is Cleveland Thrower, and with me this morning is Mr. Oliver Robinson. And we're going to be talking about boating and some of the things that go along with boating if you want to put a boat on the water. Now, if in the event you happen to be thinking about doing that, here are a few questions that we're just scratching the surface, and hopefully this is going to help you. Oliver, my first question to you is, what type of boat do you need a license for? Because there are pontoons, there are rowboats, there are canoes. What type of boat do you need a license for?
So for New York State, you'll need a boating certificate. It's not a license. It is a certificate. Um, and that certificate is required for all operators of any motorized vessels. So anything that requires any sort of electric motor, is run on diesel, run on gasoline, any kind of external power, you'll need a boating safety certificate for that. If you
Okay,
have a canoe, kayak, your stand-up paddleboard, you're just using your own human power, you're perfectly fine. The minute you put a trolling motor on it, though, you'll have to be registered with the DMV, and you'll have to take a safe boating course as well.
okay, okay. Um, so if you have to take a safe boating course, how long is the course?
The course ranges depending on what you take. The classroom course is an 8-hour course. That is a standardized course from NASBLA. That is a governing body that governs all safe boating education for the entire country. You can also take an online course. Those range from about 4 to 6, 7 hours as well. So it depends
Okay, okay,
on what you want to take.
okay. Now you said you don't need a license, but you need a certificate. Is that what you said?
So it's not yes. So it's not a license. It's a boating safety certificate. Um,
O-
a license implies other kind of legal ramifications. Usually, you'd have to recertify or you have to reapply for a license, like you would with your driver's license. Every 10 years, you have to reapply for your driver's license. With a certificate, it is good for life. Once you take a course and you get your permanent certificate, it is good for life.
Okay. Now there are people, and I've seen them in Walmart, but there are
Hmm.
people who have inflatable boats. And
Yes.
do you still need a certificate for an inflatable boat?
If that inflatable boat is being powered by any kind of external motor, then yes, you'll need a certificate for it.
Okay, just only one, only with motors.
Yes.
Okay,
If they,
okay,
if they have an inflatable boat and they're using paddles, then they're perfectly fine.
okay. All right, that's good to know. Um, where can a person purchase a certificate from, and roughly how much would it cost, or does it vary?
So the permanent certificate is $10 if you take it with New York State Parks. If you go online and take with an online course, it can vary as well. Usually it's between $10 to $20, depending on the online course. We do not dictate their business practices. Um, but for New York State, it's $10 for anyone 18 years and older. If you take the course and you're 17 years and younger, it is free. So the safe boating course is good for anyone age 10 and above.
10 and above. Okay, okay.
Yes.
All right, that was
So if you
another question.
so if, yeah, so if you have kids, grandkids, and they want to take the course, they can take it from as young as 10 years old. If they're in between 10 to 17 years of age, they get their permanent certificate free. It's good for life. If they're over 17, if they're 18 and older, it's just $10 for a permanent card.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. That's good to know. And I hope our viewers are taking notes even as we speak. Um, I heard that thank you. I heard that most boats require names and most boats have women's names. Now, I don't know if this is a truism or this is just something old wives' tale. I don't know, but
That's an old sailor thing. Usually the boats are named after women. Yeah.
the boats are named after women.
Yeah.
But do you have to have a boat to put on a boat? You have to have a name to put on your certificate.
No, for your certificate, if you're the one that's taking it, you don't have to put your boat's name on the certificate. It's your certificate, so it's gonna be your name.
Okay, okay, all right. Mr. Robinson, we're going to pause for just a minute, and we'll come back after these very important messages. Thank you so much. We're back now. And with us today is Mr. Oliver Robinson. And one thing I neglected to ask you is, Mr. Robinson, what is your actual title?
Oh, sure. So my actual title with Parks is Marine Services Representative. My main job is inspecting commercial boats in Seoul State water. So basically, all waters in New York State that does not lead out into international waters. So your Lake George, most of your Finger Lakes here. Yep, so we inspect a lot of boats um, during the summer from about May till July. I also oversee the education program for the state up because this is a big summer, especially with Brianna's law coming into effect. So everyone's kind of all hands on deck right now. We have a lot of instructors, we got a lot of new ones coming in that we're starting to certify and get them all prepped up and ready. So it's going to be an exciting time for the summer.
Okay, all right, no problem, no problem. We touched on first aid. Uh, is there anything that is a must to have on any vehicle besides a first aid kit? Um, should you have a buoy or something to throw in the water?
Yeah, definitely. Especially for any vessel. Usually most vessels when you buy them come with type 4 like a throwable. Usually call them a throwable. It's usually either sea cushion, it could be a ring buoy, it's just any kind of flotational aid that you can throw over in case someone falls overboard. I would also recommend definitely a portable fire extinguisher. This
Okay,
year, um, this year, a new law is in effect that all portable fire extinguishers have an expiration of up to 12 years.
okay,
Uh, so from 12 years from its manufacturing date, they're good. Once you get past that, then it's New York State law now to get rid of that safely and then replace it with a new one. Um,
okay. Is that
there's
yearly?
also no. So usually portable fire extinguishers are the ones usually by the wheel or by the operator station. You usually
Okay,
kind of you can take them up. On the bottom, there's usually a year, and there's a year that's stamped. So let's say it's stamped. Let's say the year will have 13 on the bottom, so it's good for up to 12 years. So it'll be good till
okay,
2025
okay,
essentially.
okay. Um, and I have just a couple of more questions for you.
Yeah.
Are there certain hours a person can operate their boat on the water?
Anyone can operate their boat at all hours. As long as they have the proper navigation lights.
Okay,
The only restrictions for any kind of watercraft would be a PWC, like a jet ski or a sea-doo. Those are only operated during daylight hours or from sunrise to sunset is the technical term. Though the reason for that is because PWCs do not have lights on them like boats do. So those are only operable on daylight hours.
okay. My final question to you is if someone's on the water in their boat and they violate water safety rules, is there a penalty? For example, throwing trash or driving recklessly?
Yes. So there is certain penalties. You can get fined up to I think $250 for certain infractions. Depending on how severe the infraction is. If it's, let's say, it's a BUI, boating under the influence, you can get jail time as well. Um, so yeah, there's certain definitely ramifications for violating New York State law when you're out boating.
Okay. And the question that I didn't have written down,
Mhm.
but who monitors the waters? on a
that'll
daily
be our
basis?
local law enforcement and Marine Patrol. Also train law enforcement and marine law enforcement training, as well as training on boats and jet skis as well. So we definitely have a large contingent of law enforcement throughout the state that definitely oversees the waterways in the state.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Oliver Robinson. I really appreciate it. It took a while for us to get connected, but I do really appreciate it. And I hope our viewers were able to garner something from this interview. And before I go, I just want you to reiterate a contact number and email for our viewers.
Sure. So again, you can call our office at 518-474-0445. You can also email us at boating@parks.ny.gov. You can also go to our website at parks.ny.gov/boating to look for any classroom courses as well as online course providers as well. We also have affiliates with the Coast Guard Auxiliary, Power Squadron, and U.S. Sailing and Power Boating, which also do courses as well.
Thank you
So
so
there's a ton of
much.
options for people to take courses.
Okay, thank you so
No
much,
problem.
Mr. Oliver Robinson. And thank you, viewers of Senior Notebook. And as always, whatever you do, be safe. Thank you.
Yes. Always be safe in the water. Wear a life jacket. Thank you.